You're sitting at a lunch table with all the youth pastors, and you got to one them up. It's like, what's the story that you're sharing?
There's a story that comes to mind. Actually, involves my wife in our first church that we ever were at. And her and I were kind of like trying to prank each other, right? And I had bought for youth ministry a bunch of these little stink bombs. Do you guys remember? They came in like glass bottles. Do you remember those?
Oh, I don't think I know this.
Oh, you're too young. I remember. This is from my era.
Can I get an Amazon link? Can we send an Amazon link after this? Yeah.
I don't know if they still make them, but they were, tiny little glass vial filled with Satan's sweat. I don't know what it was, but if you crack that thing, it was horrible smell. Absolutely horrible. And I had bought a bunch for some youth ministry stuff, some fun, just like prank stuff that we were going to mess around with. And she had found them in my office. And so one day, it was a Sunday morning, we were in church, and we were part of, the church was like kind of a conservative, maybe a little more old school church. And I'm down on the front row with the lead pastor. Without me realizing, she grabs my keys to my office, sneaks out of the service, goes upstairs, unlocks the office, grabs them, and she decided it would be hilarious to set one off in my office. Because in her mind, the smell was just going to stay in the office. And then when I went in there, I'd be like, oh, what is that? So she cracks one, doesn't notice anything, and decides I'm going to crack a couple more.
No.
She breaks out 5 of them in my office, shuts the door, heads back downstairs. Well, service is going on, and all of a sudden, you start to smell a smell lofting into the sanctuary. And people are going, what is that? Oh, my goodness. Service lets out, and at this point it's hit the air ducts, and so the AC is pushing the smell throughout the entire
this is amazing.
It smells like absolute rotten eggs. She comes up to me panicked. I can't believe this. I did this. I set them off. She's admitting it to me.
Wow.
She's like, what do I do? And I, at this point, I'm kind of internally laughing, but I'm like, now I'm going to get you. So I was like, this is serious. You got to go tell the lead pastor. You got to apologize. You're going to get fired. So she was all worked up. She had to apologize to the lead pastor. And thankfully he was okay with it because he was an ex-youth pastor. So he kind of knew, knew what it meant. But people, they didn't know what happened, and it was hilarious, man.
Wow.